This episode of ETC is brought to you by the all-new 2016 Honda HR-V, the crossover that gets it right.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of News Dump. Hope you're having a good weekend.
Hey, fans of morally vacant, scientifically knowledgeable anti-heroes with terminal cancer, rejoice.
Yay, that's me!
Because Walter White's coming back to TV!
Woohoo!
Eventually, probably.
Yeah, maybe. Breaking Bad may have ended 2 years ago. Whew, man. Really?
Yeah.
That far back? Damn.
Well, September, it'll be 2 years.
And Walter White may have, spoiler, finally bitten the dust in that episode, but Breaking Bad creator Vince Gilligan has another little show called Better Call Saul that he's focusing on these days. And that prequel show about lawyer Saul Goodman presents plenty of opportunities to revisit Breaking Bad characters who, spoiler, also got killed during that show.
Yeah, you can't complain about spoilers because it's been 2 years, you moron.
Yeah.
And whatever.
Yeah.
Why the hell did you click this video if you didn't already watch all of Breaking Bad?
Yeah.
That's on you,
yes,
buddy.
Whatever.
Anyway, Better Call Saul's first season featured a bunch of characters from various points in Breaking Bad, and the big question has always been whether we get to see Walt and or Jesse again, thanks to these new adventures of young Saul Goodman. Well, I guess he's Jimmy McGill in this.
Yeah. Well, Vince Gilligan has finally put these questions to rest by telling the New York Daily News that it's gonna happen. Again, but probably, and again, eventually. He told them it would be great to see Walter White on Better Call Saul. It would be a shame if the show had its run, hopefully a very long run, and he never appeared. We agree.
Yeah, Vince, I hate to be the one to explain this to you, but this show is your show. You can do whatever you want with it.
Yep.
You could literally write a script about Saul Goodman water skiing over a shark. And AMC,
like Fonzie?
AMC would give you the money to make that happen.
Yeah.
It would end up on TV.
Yes. Anyway, it actually sounds like Vince is just being his usual tight-lipped self, even literally saying, I have to be coy. But it definitely sounds like getting Bryan Cranston on the show is only a matter of when. Gilligan said,
all of the wonderful characters who may eventually appear on Better Call Saul will appear when it is most organic and fitting to the storytelling of Better Call Saul, and also when we can work out scheduling issues with actors. I would love to see that personally.
Better Call Saul takes place around 6 years before the events of Breaking Bad, so if there were to be a Walter White guest appearance, he most likely would not be Heisenberg at all, and would instead be Walter White, the lame high school chemistry teacher. It'll just be like him walking to his car at the high school in the background shot of a... Oh man, these kids, I hope I don't get cancer one day.
I mean, there's always the possibility that the series could jump around in time, but I mean, that's kind of unlikely.
Well, the first season starts off
right, there was like a
Breaking
flash
Bad,
forward.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, speaking of Breaking Bad, its other big star, Aaron Paul, has kept a sort of low profile since the show ended. Maybe not necessarily his fault, but he did star in Need for Speed, and he co-starred in Exodus: Gods and Kings, and also does voice work on BoJack Horseman, which is coming back very soon.
Good. Now he's going to be coming back to live action TV this winter, or rather Hulu.
Yeah.
We really need to come up with a better word for like TV.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense
Content.
anymore.
I don't know. It's something better than that.
Episodic content. That's not exciting. Whatever. I mean, the show that he's going to be doing for Hulu is called The Way, and the official description reads,
Paul will play Eddie Cleary, a convert to a controversial movement with a wayward past. He's a husband to Sarah Cleary, played by Michelle Monaghan, and a father who suffers a crisis of faith when all that he's come to accept as truth in his life is fundamentally challenged. The Way examines a family at the center of a controversial movement, struggling with relationships, marriage, and power, with each episode taking an in-depth look at what it means to choose between the life we live and the life we want.
So
that's heavy.
Yeah, it sounds really vague and really dark, but I mean, if Aaron Paul's good at anything, it's suffering through a crisis.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Also, Michelle Monaghan is a great actress. It sounds very dark, but between Paul's work on Breaking Bad and Monaghan's work on True Detective, they both got the whole like dark, gritty show thing pretty much figured out.
Speaking of which, True Detective comes back this Sunday as well.
Oh my God!
So tomorrow, watch True Detective. But speaking of quality TV content, a recent Hollywood Reporter article about HBO has revealed a couple of pretty great sounding upcoming projects for that cable network / streaming service. Feels so good to finally say that. HBO now.
You did it. A big part of the article is explaining how they made that whole thing happen.
Yeah.
And the whole process.
It's probably really hard to get off cable and satellite.
It's a long article, worth a read though. But first off, HBO says they're looking to make more of the documentary series The Jigs, which was about Robert Durst.
Yeah, Robert Durst.
A billionaire who, I don't know, maybe not.
Probably
been murdering people for several years
We
now.
all murder people. Durst was actually arrested right after the season finale aired, good timing, and is currently on trial for murder, so it's unclear what a second season would be about, but it would probably cover Durst's current trial and then whatever happens with that. And there's other, he could have killed
There's other
people.
crimes. He also, like, there was some crimes that they left out of the show to make him seem sane. Like he was arrested for like whipping his dick out at like a Walmart.
Yeah, sure.
like a year ago.
Good.
Didn't mention that.
Nope.
Anyway, the article also said that HBO is aggressively trying to court Bill Simmons to do a
that'd be
show for
cool.
them.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't know, Bill Simmons is the guy behind Grantland. He was unceremoniously let go from ESPN recently for speaking his mind one too many times. Yeah. He makes great sports content and just general entertainment news stuff, so this one's a pretty big no-brainer for HBO.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally, David Simon, the guy behind The Wire and Treme, is working on a new show called The Deuce. It's about the 1970s New York City porn industry and the general skeeziness of Times Square back when it wasn't a place where tourists went to stare at giant LED advertisements.
Yeah, so there's a link to the article, the whole article in the description. It's really worth the read if you're interested in the behind-the-scenes goings-on of a major cable network.
I know I am.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't aware of this, but apparently around like 2008, HBO was kind of like fucked. Like they didn't have like a good content slate, and then their CEO got arrested for like beating up his girlfriend or something. So they had to like turn everything around, take a bunch of risks about how they develop content, and that's how we get to where we are today.
So you're saying him beating his girlfriend was a good thing?
You could say that.
No, you said that.
No,
I didn't say that.
I didn't say it.
I didn't say it.
You said it.
Wow, what are you guys doing?
Why did you say that?
Anyways, let's move on. We previously told you about Arnold Schwarzenegger's contest for one lucky fan to come to LA and blow shit up with him, which is his genius way of getting people to donate to his after-school programs charity.
Yeah, now Arnold has made another video to bring awareness to his charity, and it's him in full Terminator getup, including like facial damage, pretending to be a statue and scaring the living shit out of people at Madam Tussauds Wax Museum here in Hollywood when they try to come take a picture with him.
Yeah, he also spent
It's a prank.
It is a prank.
It's a prank.
And he did have his selfie stick too, which was cute. He also spent a bunch of time walking around Hollywood Boulevard, making the costumed people who hang out outside the Chinese theater feel really inadequate.
Yeah, he's suck it in.
Yeah. Hey, fat Spider-Man, maybe go home. You're freaking out the kids. Anyway, one lucky fan who donates to the charity will get to go to the Terminator Genesis premiere with Arnold, and according to the video description, drink schnapps with me at the after party. I guess you gotta be over 21.
We'll be there.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're going to the after party.
I'm specifically requested that.
Oh, good.
Because I need a chance
to
meet him again.
I want to drink schnapps with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, I need to shake his hand finally this time.
He's gonna turn her away again.
Yeah, if you haven't heard the story, he denied me a handshake one time, and it was the coolest part of my
He assessed the situation.
Yeah. Looked at my hand, looked at me, said no, and left. It was great.
Yeah. Anyway, if you were paying close attention to our footage from last week, you may have noticed that we weren't in our usual brick wall storage closet. We were actually on the streets of London.
Yeah.
We were actually over there for TED 2, and we got to sit down and talk to Seth MacFarlane and the stars of the movie. So here you go. Us trying to be actual press people.
So Mark, this is the first sequel you've ever done.
Yes.
In what, like 25 years of acting. What made you decide to take the plunge this time?
Because we knew we had a chance to make it better than the first, and it was a completely new story. I wasn't making a sequel for the sake of making a sequel.
When the sequel idea came about, originally it was supposed to be Ted and John trucking a pot shipment across the country. And then We're the Millers came out, which was basically that. And you know, we can't do that.
I guess the first time around you said that it was kind of hard going from a TV show to a movie. Did you find it easier the second time around? Did you know the characters better? And
yeah, it was a little easier. I mean, you know, a sequel is harder in that it's, you know, it has the onus of the original, if the original was a success, to live up to. But it's easier in that you don't have to do the heavy lifting of introducing characters and telling a story at the same time. You can count on the fact the audience already knows these people, so you can hit the ground running.
The effects in this movie and The Last Ted are like really impressive. I kept having to stop thinking about how they actually went about shooting this, because a lot of it had to just be you talking to a tennis ball, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or a little stick with two eyes on it, or if there's movement, then we don't have anything. So you just kind of choreograph the movement. It's all well rehearsed and thought out and planned out, and then you just kind of go for it and, you know, hope you don't look too ridiculous.
You know, you can imagine how he's reacting, but you can only hear Seth's voice, and Seth's voice is a little bit far away. And as an actor, you kind of naturally want to just respond to the person talking, but you can't.
I wanted to know specifically, what was it like shooting at Comic-Con? And were the people there receptive? Because it looked like you guys shot it during the actual convention, or?
No, that was all on a soundstage.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was a massive soundstage on the Fox lot. You know, we sent a camera crew to shoot some stuff at Comic-Con that we then put Ted in, but we realized that our soundstage actually looked more like Comic-Con.
Yeah.
That was a cool stage to be on, because it just went on and on and on. And you you know, we treated it like Comic-Con. We called various vendors and studios and said, hey, we're building Comic-Con for this movie. Can you send us kiosks? And so everyone kind of jumped in.
Well, that was awkward.
Yeah, that was weird. Anyways, thanks for joining us, guys. Hope to see you soon. We got a podcast coming out tomorrow, which basically talks about all of the E3 stuff that was announced in more.
Totally uninformed E3 rundown.
Yeah, it's a podcast though. It's actually. Well, actually, Tugs is almost as long as the podcast, basically, so who knows? Yeah, but watch that tomorrow and check out the new episode of Tugs, the E3 special, and also some Weekly Weird in there as well. And we will see you guys next time. Also, next week, Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park is the guest. So
Mike Shinoda.
We'll have a link to the place where you can ask questions for that.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Do it. Bye.